My name is Weldon Braxton. I'm the head football coach and architect of Itasca football over at Itasca Community College. And I've been the head coach since 2017. I'm going to discuss more of the experience of our student athletes and what they've gone through because I'm best equipped to do it. So ICC, it's a community college. We play junior college football. So the dynamics of it is that we recruit young men from all over the country. I believe we have 13 different states represented. So think about that. There's 13 different states represented in our town right now. I bet a lot of you had no idea about that. But yeah, 13 different states from East Coast to West Coast, literally, from Baltimore to Seattle and in between. So that's what we have. Recruit these young men, not only for their athletic ability, but to help develop them in the classroom and to fulfill their goals beyond ICC. So that's what we do. We've been very successful. We've won 76% of our games the last 3 years, but what I'm most proud of is we've sent a lot of guys to four-year schools, as many as anybody over the last few years. Now, here's the thing, though. We understand the whole dynamic of it. So we've also had guys not technically go to four-year schools, but they're extremely successful. So we have to understand the barometer is not just going to college. I mean, if you're productive and a proper citizen after you leave ICC, that's a win, too. I think a lot of people lose sight of what success actually looks like. So that's what we've done. Now, what concerns me at this point is, what are we bringing them into? And that's kind of where my story opens up a little bit. So ICC is a non-scholarship institution for football. So we cannot give football scholarships. These young men are trusting us who recruit them to come, go to school, and perform on the field, and we are not giving them a single penny. So you guys think about the Gophers, NDSU, all those schools who the young men get several thousands of dollars to go to school there. Our young men do not. They're trusting us to provide them an opportunity to be successful on and off the field. So with that, I've really honed in more and more each year on what are we bringing them into. So from a community standpoint, how are we being treated in the community? And by we, I'm talking about our student athletes. How are we being treated in the community? How are we being treated with their athletic experience? How are they being treated with their academic experience? And because the resources and funding is limited, a lot of you guys know it up front because you all help with our program. And I appreciate that. And our whole program is very thankful for the help you guys have provided. But let's go back and talk about community. So just this year, I'm not even going back talking stories from years past because I don't have to. I can just stick with this year. So we had some young men who, this was early in when they first got here, in early August, rode their bikes, it's around 10:30 at night, to the holiday station just to get some Gatorade and some drinks and just to cool out before practice the next day. We run a very grueling camp and run to the gas station to get some drinks. There's no harm in that. It's nighttime, so it's a little bit cooler. These gentlemen were from Florida, so of course, even in the summertime, northern Minnesota, it's cool for a young man from Florida. They went to the gas station. They experienced getting ran over. One of them was struck by a vehicle, and some racial slurs followed that. Then they were tailed by law enforcement. They're riding their bikes to the gas station and back. They were tailed by law enforcement back to the apartments. And there was actually a firearm involved in the process from an outside party. One of them had a gun pulled on them. So, one's already been hit, and then one's already had a firearm put on them. They've only been in town 2 days. So put yourselves in that situation. You just got to town, you're 2,000 miles away from home, and you've been struck by a vehicle. Granted, it was just the mirror of the vehicle, but still, a car hit you. You were struck by a vehicle and there was a gun pulled on you. So obviously, being the responsible figures in this situation, coaches and whatnot, we tried to follow up with the law enforcement service station to get some video evidence, just try to build a case. And it was my understanding nothing existed of the sort. No video, no evidence, there was nothing that existed. So I know a lot of you know about it because you've talked to me about it, but what was really done about it? To my knowledge, there was nothing done about it. Now, if you guys have some news on it, you can talk to me afterwards. But to my knowledge, there was no follow-up, nothing done from a structural standpoint. So again, you've been hit, gun pulled on you 2,000 miles from home. So that's a story, and even though it's just 2 or 3 guys, of course that permeates throughout our roster and our team. So, because guys from other places are, oh man, that happened to you already? I don't know about this place. I don't know. I mean, are we safe here? Think about, as a parent, talking to your child on the phone every day, you send them off to college, all that good stuff, and you're talking to them, hey, how was your first or second day? Yeah, Mom, got hit by a car and a gun pulled on me, but I'm great otherwise. Not a beautiful thing you'd want to hear from your child, I would imagine.